being out here today on the farm, it's really great to connect with some local landowners and farmers to show some simple ways that producers can implement soil and water health practices on their properties.
Hi, my name is Linda Coffey. I work for NCAT in the Southeast office, but also we have a farm, and we are talking to you today from our farm near Prairie Grove. This is my husband, Ken Coffey.
Hi, I work for the Animal Science Department at the U of A, and again, we've been farming here for 26 years.
We have 50 acres, about half of it is grazable, and we've over the years raised a lot of different livestock, but right now we have simplified down to sheep. We raise Gulf Coast natives, which are a parasite-resistant breed and very hardy, which is why we chose them.
We've got 22 pastures, small paddocks on our farm, and that has been a real plus for us for a number of reasons, but it really helps with our management, really helps us with our flexibility in trying to graze certain areas that don't need grazed. We can get off of it and let that rest more, so it's really helped our management. It's been a slow process. Just as we get time, we build another fence, divide another pasture up that needs it.
Another thing that we've had to work on and that has taken time is the water, because Ken has said grazing management is fertility management, but we have to think about how to keep the animals and their manure and their urine on the land where we need it, rather than back at a central water source. So Ken has put a lot of effort into a water collection system and some pipeline. We are not finished yet, but we're making a conscious effort to get water on each of the pastures so that our sheep can be confined to that pasture, keep their manure and urine where we need it for fertility.
Yeah, before we did that, especially on the back part of the place, we would graze there and then they would have to come to the front part for water, and so we basically mined nutrients from the back part, and you could see a slow decline in the growth back there. And now we've done more practices, like we haul water, and so we can lock the animals back there. In the wintertime we have fed hay back there, and we calculated it out, like last year's hay had about 20 pounds of nitrogen per bale of hay. So and most of that goes through those animals. They don't retain very much of that protein, very much of that nitrogen, so it stayed out there on the pastures. Plus what hay they didn't eat was there to build soil organic matter and to break down, and so we can see some differences coming. The back part of the place is coming back. It's not very deep soil. It's sitting right on limestone, but we do get much better growth there now than we did, say, 10 years ago. So it's really helping us out a lot.
So we're thinking of feeding the animals and the soil in one move, and that saves us money and builds our farm.
Basically, what we were doing in the past is we would feed them in a dry lot. And so all that manure and urine is going in that dry lot, and all those nutrients are in that dry lot that's not going to be productive anyway because it's too compacted. Where if we can feed those animals out on the pasture, we can bring those nutrients. We put hay on the pasture, we bring those nutrients out to the pasture where we need it to grow the grass. So
well, it gives them a cleaner environment too. There's a lot of good things about that different mindset of different systems. So it's better for the animal health. It's better for we are getting out onto the pasture to see it, and it's not much extra trouble. It's just a matter of thinking through, where do I want that manure and urine, and then how can I get it there?
There are traditional ways of farming, but there's also some alternative ways to think about how we graze and manage our lands. And when we take some steps and learn from the local resources around us what's working and what's not working, we can find ways that help to improve ag properties, and which not only benefits water quality, but it also benefits the farmer, helps economically, helps soil and water health. It's just, there's a multitude of benefits when you apply just some alternative practices to your lands here.
Some of NCAT's great programs include the ATRA program, which is a Sustainable Agriculture Information Service, and also the Soil for Water project, which is a project that is working to help farmers capture and hold more water in their soils. So capturing and holding water in the soil has a number of benefits, helping farmers ride out drought periods and also decreasing runoff from farms, which can help decrease flooding downstream. Having more water in your soil and being able to infiltrate more water when we get rain helps increase farm productivity and decrease costs and other inputs, so it helps farmers farm more profitably. I'm going to be digging a hole so we can do an on-farm soil assessment. When I'm looking at a soil sample like this, I first look at the color, and this is a nice dark brown, and then I look at these aggregates to see if there's loose crumbles or if it's more blocky, and this looks nice and crumbly and loose. And I look down deeper and see how far the roots go, because you want them going deep into the soil so they can reach lots of nutrients and water. And there's lots of evidence of roots going down deep. So that looks good. Nice soil.
As part of this program with the Conservation Champions grant, we've been able to host field days and workshops which get landowners out on these properties to see firsthand these practices like rotational grazing, alternative drinking water sources, different kind of fencing, different practices that they might want to take back to their farm. So it's been a really neat opportunity to work with so many producers and landowners in this area, Northwest Arkansas, to help share knowledge and bring together ways to help not only the farmer but water quality.